You know what? Let's pick the Aquila because, we're only 2 people anyway, so we're down a turret and it doesn't really matter. And then it's got a different
I didn't know
cockpit.
that was in the game.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
And somewhere out there, someone's typing furiously because I didn't pronounce the ship the right way.
Oh well.
That seems to happen like on chat, like on the comments all the time. It's like I say VTOL and they're like it's VTOL or VT. It's like I'm just let it go, man.
You're just sounding it out.
Yeah, or whatever. The point is that like different areas have different ways of speaking, and that you grow up and they hear the words differently and.
Oh, it looks like we're on the same platform. Oh well.
But it's like but if I can speak the words and you know what I'm saying, and if my the dialect or the area that I grew up in it says it differently, then just deal with it and move on.
Nope. How dare you? You got to be the same as everybody else. It's the law.
It's like when I was living in Japan. You had Osaka Ben and Kyoto Ben, and they're only like 40 minutes apart from one another, but they use different words and different dialects. That's what Ben is. So, you just, some words are, you may say kide over here you may say bepin. So it's just, those aren't even remotely close to the same sounding word.
There's 2 different Connies out here. Which one's which? One of them has your name on it, though. So
yeah.
Probably that one. We have someone in chat saying that they hate VTOL mode so much.
Yeah, well... It's not going to go away, and they're going to have to make improvements on it, and I think it's a solid start. It's just got some issues. But I mean, it's funny. People aren't going, "Oh my gosh, I hate Grand Theft Auto 5 so much with its stupid helicopters." And I mean, but
it makes sense to have it, and it's a brand new edition, so it makes sense that it's not perfect.
Right. The whole idea that this. Chris doesn't like it. I don't like the hanging upside down, weird crap. It just doesn't look good. Doesn't play well. For someone hits me on that.
Hey, let's take off before we get pulled out of the ship.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm just trying to get my head tracking to work. Are you in the ship?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the co-pilot seat.
Okay.
That doesn't work.
All right. Engine on. My head tracking isn't working at all. Hello. Let's try this again. Flight ready. I mean that.
Well, at least the screen is working now. Since the main ship power is on. Whoa! It's not the smoothest of takeoffs you've done.
No, I'm trying to multitasking, if you will.
I just didn't want us to have the ship get yanked out from under us and kill us.
Yeah, I was just trying to get away from the station where the guns opened up, All right.
There's that too.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and decouple here real quick. And I'm getting out of the cockpit. You go ahead and fly.
Sure, if I can. Oh, there we go. Man, for a second there I thought I was trapped on the seat.
Yeah. No, you go ahead and drive. I'm going to see if I can get head tracking to work while you get reacquainted with your stick on this.
Yeah, geez, it's gonna be awful.
Okay, there we go. Okay, the way they made it sound like you need to have a toggle button, and I know that's actually a toggle turn it off and on. The way they phrased it was weird. It's a bit sensitive. More than I'm used to. I like the Aquila cockpit. I would love to be able to replace my standard Connie with this rounded cockpit. I think this one was a better looking cockpit overall.
Well, I mean, it is their second draft.
Yeah.
It's just a sad fact that all the newer ships usually have better designs to them.
I mean, this screen, like, it should be like a little bit down or off to the side. If it's right in my face, like if I wanted to be like a help, like with the, I don't know, if say you wanted to give this position the ability to run manual gimbals, because that's what you wouldn't give it to a pilot, you give it to a gunner. I can't see anything because I got a big screen in my face.
Yeah, I don't really care for the giant screens in the face thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me that, you wouldn't have like, oh, I'm going to look down and there's a thing here, or I'm going to, look off to the right and there's a thing there or something, or even above. Like, to me, it's just like it's odd that the real estate doesn't. It literally does the worst thing possible. This is like completely blinds me from seeing what you're doing.
Like the when you're in the actual captain's chair, right?
Yeah.
Screens on the top, totally fine. Screens on the bottom, totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Screen in the middle is more of a HUD, so it's not in my face or in my way.
Well, I'm getting the upper turret so I can see where the heck we're going, because the upper turret's mostly just a navigation thing, or an exploration thing. But I don't care. I'm gonna shoot them with science.
Whoa, that's me accidentally grabbing the mouse and everything going to hell.
There we go. There's your engines opening up.
Oh, are we going slow enough for VTOL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your van's opened.
Whoa!
It's funny because
I haven't touched anything. I just pulled
yeah.
back on the throttle.
There's a problem though with those doors right there. Like the thrusters are pushing into the doors, so those doors need to open more vertical, not so much at a 45.
Oh, cool.
But maybe straight up and down, and it would be fine. Though that's a detail thing, though. That's like a beta thing. See, the ones underneath the body, underneath the engines, they actually are clear of the...
I have to force it down. It wants to pull up and level off.
Yeah, the auto leveling is... This is what I'm saying. There's the big issue I have with it...
I think there's just too much automation going
Exactly.
on.
That is exactly what's wrong with it. It's too much automation. Now, they did address it and said that they said removing the automation causes some exploits currently that could be abused.
Then fix the exploits.
Well, that's what he's working on. He says until that can be dealt with, see, you shouldn't. Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. I mean, I guess on the Connie it's possible because those things go both ways, but
yeah, it would just reverse the
reverse
the polarity.
I guess the Connie makes sense, but still, I mean. It does look... I mean, we should be going down much harder than we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, like right now we're just kind of like hovering.
Yeah, this
should be plummeting like a rock.
Yeah, we should be dead.
At this angle, like right here, I could see more or less level flight with maybe a little bit of loss.
And this is what I'm saying, like the main engine right now in this mode should be up and down.
We're just UFOing. We're just UFOing.
Yeah, this UFOing with less precision. The thing is that like the main throttle should be up and down. It should your power from your main should switch into your lift, and when you go into this mode, like that's what you should be seeing. Is we're talking about the idea of thruster shunting or or power grid, or basically things moving around. Your main engine should provide a little bit of thrust, but a lot of that power from those engines should be shuffled off to these VTOL engines when the doors open up, and so, or at least decent amount. So that if you want to control your vertical axes, you should be throttling up, and it should naturally go ahead and give you more lift, because that'll be much more like a helicopter.
All right, well let's level off, pull off a little bit. I need appropriate music for Beggar Canyon.
So I think though, even with the weirdness in the throttle control, I think you're gonna find that this feels better with your HOTAS than it's going to with the mouse and keyboard like last time. Cutlass bugs aside, but the automation, if it gets peeled back, and we get
I want to fly this like a jet, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a UFO.
Well, yeah, even this thing shouldn't fly like a jet because it's got no lift.
But I mean, like, look at this. I can just yaw.
Yeah.
I can just yaw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously there's drift, right? But it recovers very quickly. See,
yeah.
I want to do this. This is what I want to do, but it's fighting me.
Yeah. Oh. That's close.
It's weird. I don't like it.
Well, this vehicle wouldn't fly like heart banking like this very much. I mean, it would a bit, but there's no wings on it.
Because you want to change your center of lift.
I mean, to a degree, yeah, you would want to like power up the engines to go to counter the drop, and then shift.
Well,
to
if
the right.
I was doing this, I'm pushing down,
right,
and I'm pushing away. So, but you wouldn't want to be doing like jet flying, but you would tilt a little
but
bit.
yeah, I understand some idea of some pitching and whatnot, but it's the automation that's I think it's
the automation. I think is what's
exactly. I think that's when people are complaining about the lack of control. It's because the game is trying to take control of the thing from you. Oh shit!
Oh, we clipped.
Yeah, we did.
It. I mean,
Did we damage our
for
engine?
one, we're flying a very large and heavy ship.
Yeah.
But,
How bad is the engine damaged?
As far as I can tell, it's totally fine.
Okay, we just did a light touch then. Okay, yeah. So the it's one of those things that it's a lot of processes and starts to this. And they have this odd dichotomy. It's like you have they want to keep the arcade community happy, but then they want the steep game that was going to require at least sim-like mechanics, and they don't commit to either.
This just feels so bad.
And then they put hover mode in, but they are unable to fully commit to, because they said, because of the IFCS, they're unable to currently give you manual
It's easier to control because I have to use strafe, like, period. We wouldn't be flying like this if I didn't have strafe controls.
Right.
Like when I get low like this, strafe up.
Yeah, it works really well with dual stick.
It's retardedly powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least you're getting more control than you did with the mouse and keyboard, which was just.
Yeah, but it's still clunky.
It is
and
clunky.
It just feels wrong.
Yeah, it's the automation. It's the game trying to fight you from doing what you want to do. And see, we should. Yeah. It's my weapon sheared off or something.
That's fine. We didn't even touch anything.
That's right. So it doesn't matter. It's a loner anyway. So.
Well, on mine we didn't touch.
Yeah. Well, on mine it looks like we just kind of just like killed a gecko or something. We got real close. But yeah, like we're pitched down way too much right now. Like.
Well, I'm also doing full thrust up.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is that like there's a weirdness in the way it looks.
Yeah.
To some degree, like I can see for example, the fans should keep you lifted, and the main engine should have some power to thrust you forward. In other words, you should be flying slower because you need then you couldn't space because you have to split your energy resources between.
Well, realistically, those fans are only going to give us purely a 100% down.
Exactly.
Directional thrust.
Yeah.
So if I do this, I should be going way more to the right.
Exactly.
But I'm still just kind of. I'm slowly.
And that's why I said.
slugging.
Yeah, that's why I said that's why you would throttle up to give yourself more push when you did that, and that's really, So yeah, it's one of those things that.
I mean, like it's okay.
Yeah, it still feels like it's somewhat treating it like it has wings.
This doesn't feel like it has wings to me. This 100% feels like I'm flying a UFO.
Yeah. Well, I said because I'm watching the way you're banking the turns just wouldn't happen on this design. You would have, like I said, let's just throw out a value. Let's say that 50% of each one of those engines your engine's powers are going down into the VTOL thrusters. Okay. In order to maintain this, and those are dedicated to do that. Okay, so your main engine power, obviously, if 50% is being shunted to that, would be 50%. So your speed in atmosphere with the Connie would be significantly less than it would be in space. At least, obviously, aside from drag and things like that. But if it was a gravity asteroid or planet without an atmosphere, the point is that your acceleration, all of it, would be half. And I don't like the different speed caps on each ship. I think there should just be a universal speed cap, but we covered that before. The thing is that yeah. So, but the thing is that your acceleration, all those values should be halved because you're only able to put out half that thrust, and that's what, and you should be flying
or dynamically scale based on atmosphere.
Yeah, or the gravity or whatever it needs to counter it.
I'd say atmospheric density is going to make more than gravity because that's drag.
Well, yeah, right. What I mean is that, like, how much your thrusters have to push you down, how much power they draw from the engines. So
that would be gravity, but like forward acceleration and stuff, and certain things like that.
There's a couple different factors, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
But
those are the two big ones.
Yeah, so it still feels like it needs to not be. I don't mind driftiness and things like that because it's a heavy ship, and
yeah, but I just use the thrusters. And it just counters any and all drift. Like that's how I've been able to fly as crazy as I am. Is I'm very heavily using the thrusters, which means the thrusters are overpowered because they're not designed to move the entire mass of the ship like I'm using them for.
Yeah, it's one of those things that for tier 0, I think we need to see what happens by the time they go to tier 1. to see the direct. It's hard to gauge what direction they're going with it when you're at the starting point. You need at least 2 points of data to get an idea. And this is why I think we might
everything feels sluggish.
Yeah, I don't mind sluggish if it feels connected to your ship.
No, this feels like I input a command and it's going across. It feels like I'm playing an internet game with dial-up modem.
I'm gonna sip some coffee here because I tell you what, I'm just yawning up a storm. I have no idea why.
It feels like I'm playing in like the 90s on an internet game, and there's a lot of delay.
That's a good analogy. Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of delay. Because once again, I say you're fighting what you're trying to do, and the automation what it's trying to do, and it causes this conflict, and that's why, it's like when we play race games, like
okay, yacht right there. Yeah. This has the most delay when it should have like almost the least. Here we go. Let's do this. But like it handles exactly the same.
Well, I mean, as I said before, at the Connie, that almost makes sense because of the way those.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, right? But it's weird. It's real weird. This is weird. I can't do it. Down, girl. Not that far down. Oh no, we're heading towards that thing. Let me just use the thrusters. Whoop, we missed. So this should be reverse, and then that should be that. Okay.
Now what I want you to do is fly this way, but cut the thrusters back down to 50%. I want to see how you feel that, because one of the great things about this build is once they finally given us ability to reduce thrusters is that we can start experimenting with other values. This is for anyone. You can experiment with different values of what your mavs can put out, so we can start seeing like what happens when we start.
Where is this?
Right alt mount mouse wheel down. Because you get that should be the indicator on the right.
Nope, that's not doing anything. Oh, never mind. I was using the wrong one. So, whoa! Now we're like falling.
Yeah. So you reduced your thruster output, and so it should like this will works on every ship.
Here's 0%.
Yeah.
There's 2%.
Well, no, 0%. We should be just plummeting.
5%. 8%. 11, 14, 16.
Yeah, around 20s would probably be pretty stable, at least a holding position.
And there's 20.
I mean, we're sliding a bit backwards, but it's generally
speaking. I don't know why we're doing that.
But generally speaking, okay, so if 20 is maintenance, let's try do 30. Try to fly at 30.
30?
Yeah.
Easy. Let's go.
This is what I was talking about, is that because they've finally given us control of these values, we can experiment on our own and say, look, let's reduce what your thrusters are capable of with this system, and let's see how combat works.
I'm feeling it more in the actual speed of the ship than I am in the VTOL. Like our top speed has dropped by like 100 meters per second by doing this. Well, more like 90 realistically. But yeah, that's where it's affecting. I don't feel it at all for responsiveness of the ship.
Well, I mean, you haven't really done any hard maneuvers either, so.
Well, the ship responds just as it always. Whoa, okay, no, I take that back.
Now it's now
definitely more sluggish.
Yeah, now when you dip it down, you're starting to feel the gravity.
This feels like what it should be.
Exactly.
Where you're just barely keeping it up.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Say a lot of the things that's why I wanted you to do it. See, Star Citizen's mavs have been so significantly overpowered for the longest time. Now they brought it down a lot. I'm not saying they didn't, and they even brought down projectile velocity. But exactly. See that you feel it more. And this is what I'm talking about. Is this idea that of weight and mass and thrust and that you get more out of it when you put less into it. And they need to have different starting values. And now, like, having different starting values also adds another ancillary benefit, like that slider you have that you're adjusting for controls. Now, saying if let's say that your default, let's raise it up to 35. Let's go just do 35. Okay, so so
here's 36.
Okay, so say 35, 36 is your new 100%. So that's your scale. You're ramping up your your 36% is equal to 100. So when you're doing precision adjustments to the thrusters within that, you have greater sensitivity. Like you're able to get finer, minute adjustments. When you have 3 times that on a bar with the same length, you don't get the same kind of precision. Obviously,
I will tell you though that the up-down thrusters, like manual strafing controls, they're noticeably weaker, but they still are very powerful still.
Yeah, lateral needs to be one. Like I remember when Chris was talking about, like he wanted the bottom thrusters to be the most powerful to promote the pitch and roll flight. And for the most part, they have reduced lateral, but I don't think they've done it to the extent that it needs to be done. When you watch clips, like even the videos come out, even Infinity Battlescape, which is very much an arcade game, has in a lot of respects better mechanics and implementation of those mechanics than Star Citizen does. Now, In the Black, formerly known as Starfighter Inc., which should be dropping its NDA soon. Well, hopefully by the time this video comes out, frankly, because I really want to show that stuff off.
Woo!
And basically,
that was close.
they respect mechanics too. They've got the guys that developed it for did MechWarrior, X-Wing, and if I remember right, they had some NASA guys.
The most important question is which MechWarrior?
The originals.
Oh.
The damage system.
I don't think I played 1 and 2.
The ones where you sit in the cockpit ones.
Yeah.
So damage is done through damage is done through heat, armor damage, and then systems damage. So
I think my friend's dad had MechWarrior 2. I think it was.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it was. It might not have been MechWarrior. It might have been the Mech Commander game series.
Mech Commander was an overhead perspective strategy game, which is
I played MechWarrior 3. That's what I played. No! Ow!
So there's a difference. Dun 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 dun. Engine. Look at that. Things. Okay, that first starts landing. Parts break off too easy, and then you look at
grind.
Everyone remember where we parked, because that's the landing gears laying in midair, and it's just weird.
It's just I don't even know what's going on anymore. I don't even know. Don't even know.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
It's all fine here. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm gonna put the landing gear mode. It shouldn't even be doing anything. I have turned all thruster power off. The thrusters are off. It shouldn't be getting any power at all. And it's just doing this. I don't know why it's doing this.
Well, physics. As we go up in the air. Man,
I don't know. I'm gonna go down here. Where's engines?
What the heck?
Engines off.
There we go. Like it.
Any lane you can walk away from, I guess.
At least...
so what is? Oh, hey, we're missing an engine.
We're missing 3 of the engines. Or 2
engines.
Sorry,
we're
2.
Missing the left side of engines.
Yeah. But that's okay, because the landing gear still works. So we're all right. So yeah.
It's okay. It's held by quantum physics.
It is.
Hey, we've also broken off some of the doors. Oh, the left thruster bank is all broken off. Or sorry, the right thruster thing. That's fine. Let's see if we can still fly it.
Oh, good gravy.
All right, so let's give us. I don't have control. Oh, I don't like it when it does this. Okay, so let's turn engines on.
Full power.
So that's that. I'm having a control issue here.
I would imagine this.
All I have control. Oh my god! All I have control of is the freaking thrusters.
Whee!
My joystick was controlling the camera for some reason.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, so
And there goes my
Okay.
there goes the body flying.
so that's that.
Now, maybe I should let you fly a smaller ship to see how you think the VTOL feels on that. I don't know if that matters as much because it kind of does to a degree.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.